What's up, guys? It is Gray, aka the Hokage, and I apologize if my energy's a little low. I have a headache right now, and it's just destroying my soul. But it's Friday. Somewhere in the world, it's Friday. I don't. If it's late at night on a Friday, I don't count it. I should, but I don't. Whoo boy. Oh, we got some episodes, fellas. Holy moly. We got some good episodes. I guess we'll just start with because it starts off where we left off. It goes to Chad. And he's just unconscious. And Shunsui's like, man, if that attack hit me, I could have gotten hurt. And I was like, alright, dude, whatever. Sure. Oh, man. And then I was like, hey, do you want me to finish him? Blah, blah, blah. And Karaku's like, no, he could learn from him. And then the Squad 2, the Stealth Force, I think it's Squad 2. I don't know why I think that. I just feel like it is. Shows up and he's like, hey, I got a super secret letter from Mitsugaya and Yamamoto. And they're like, oh, what is it? And he's like, oh, dude, Aizen's dead. That's wild. And they're like, whoa, that's bad. Then we go to Ichigo. So, him and the boys. I don't remember if this happened, but basically Kenpachi shows up. And they're like, guess I'll die. Hanataro and what? No, I think that happened. I think this officially starts here. Kenpachi's like, cut me, boy. And Ichigo's like, I'm not just gonna attack you. This is a trap. And he's like, you either do it now or you lose your chance. And he's like, Ichigo's like, I'll take the shot. Ichigo hurts himself, doesn't even cut Kenpachi, and then he just runs for a while. He just straight up runs away. For half the episode, he's just running. He's like, I don't get it. He's too strong. I can't do this. How does anyone fight this freak of nature? Which, to be fair, he's not wrong. Kenpachi is a freak of nature. And then finally, Ichigo stops, and then he feels Chad being alive. He feels Chad was supposed to go away, and he's like, oh, Chad couldn't have lost. Chad's too strong. And then he feels that his spiritual energy is completely zero, and he's like, oh, he's alive, okay. And he's like, wait, what am I doing? Chad's fighting for his life out here. I need to get my stuff together. He gets a little bit more determined. He actually cuts Kenpachi. It's kind of hard to remember exactly, because the events. He does cut Kenpachi, and Kenpachi's like, sweet, dude. And then Kenpachi. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Basically, Kenpachi starts whooping him again. No, it's the eye patch comes off. That's right. No, that's right before. Never mind. Where's that whole final attack? Okay. Basically, what happens is Ichigo gets sucked into his spirit world, and for the first time, we see White, if I'm not mistaken. Which is Hall of Ichigo's name is White, in case you don't know. I don't think that's a huge spoiler. It is a spoiler for the last arc of Bleach, but it's just his name, that's not a huge deal. So White is there, and Zangetsu's there, and dude, this is some. I didn't remember how hard Ichigo's boys carried him in this. I guess they're parts of Ichigo, so it doesn't count. But dude, they carried him in this fight. Zangetsu was like, yeah, I was holding your wounds together. I gave you power. All this junk. It was basically Zangetsu and White versus Kenpachi. Ichigo is doing some training. He's like, oh, I want to know more about you, Zangetsu. I only know your name. I'm no better than Kenpachi, because he asked Kenpachi, he's like, what's the name of your sword? He's like, my sword doesn't have a name. What the heck? It's a sword. And he's like, oh, so you're easy. Ichigo's like, you're easy mode. And then Kenpachi, beat the shizzle right out of him. He beat the orange right off him. Man, my head hurts. Yeah, so they're he finally he beats White. He doesn't really beat White, but he solves the problem. He leaves, and then White he's like, yeah, he's strong. Good for him. I think he'll do. He'll be a good one. And then Zangetsu's like, I hope so. And they're peace. That was sweet, especially when later. And there is something I want to talk about. There actually is going to be a brief spoiler section of this one because there's something I need to talk about because it's eating away at me. And it's like the reason this is the reason I'm doing the rewatch. Like, because of tiny stuff like this, but that's a little bit later. So Ichigo, like, Kenpachi takes off his eye patch. He's like, I'm so strong. Still didn't use 2 hands, by the way. So we could have ended this fight with Ichigo. Just saying. So they do, like, one final, like, Zangetsu shows up behind Ichigo. He's like, I'm going to lend you my power for this one. And they, like, clap each other. Ichigo falls over, and he's like, oh, I lost. And then Kenpachi's like, you didn't lose. And then Kenpachi falls over. But Kenpachi's, like, dying, and Ichigo's, like, not quite dead. Also, Kenpachi's sword broke in half. Yachiru shows up and picks him up and leaves. He's like, thanks for playing with Kenny. Do it again sometime. And he's like, you know, it's a normal response. And then she like jumps out and she's sitting there next, dude. Okay. So she's basically sitting there and Kenpachi's like, this is where we're going to have the spoiler talk, by the way. And he's like, what's your name? Like, I want to know your name. He's talking to a sword. He's like, I need to know your name. Like, I want to get stronger. Like, why aren't you talking to me? And then he, like, passes out. And she was like, don't worry, Kenny. We'll get stronger together. And I was like... Spoiler section. Anyway. That kind of ends that whole section. And then we go to Hanataro and Ganju. And they just, like, are beat up some, like, normal fodder Soul Reaper guards. They go to Rukia's prison. And then, Hanataro was like a key, and then Ganju's like, aren't you going to get in trouble for that? And I was like, he's like helping you guys. Like, he's going to get in trouble for this. Like, whatever. He opens the cage. Rukia's there. And of course, Ganju's like, he like does a Spider-Man meme. He's like, you killed my brother. And she's like, oh, you're Cayenne's brother. Yeah, I killed him. And I was like, just tell him the truth. You know, like, don't. Stop. Like, you don't have to prove anything to Cayenne. Like, just tell him, whatever. We'll get to that later, I'm sure. I think she kills him because he's going to be part of the Hollow. I believe that's why she had to kill him. Because he asked her to. He's like, I don't want to become part of this Hollow. I don't recall exactly. We'll get to it, but I believe that's why. I think technically she did kill him, but it was like a mercy killing. I don't remember. Not important. Basically, if she told him the whole story, it makes sense. And then, Ganju's like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. We're gonna save her, and then they feel Byakuya showing up, and I'm like, GG. And they're like, oh well, and then Ganju's like, I'm not gonna risk my life against Byakuya Kuchiki, who's like the most famous captain of the Gote 13 for this chick. Hanataro's like, I will, fine, get her out of here. I'll stand against Byakuya. And then Ganju like has like a moment. He's like, this kid's gonna freaking die. So he, like, jumps, he, like, throws Hanataro back, and he's like, ha, F you, Byakuya, and I'm just like, buddy, like, sometimes you can throw bombs at Soul Reapers, and sometimes you're against Byakuya. Whatever. That's really it. That's kind of how it ends. Yorichi picks up Ichigo, because they're going to go do their special training. They might run into... I think they meet on this... Whatever, it doesn't matter. Basically, Yorichi picks him up. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Overall, some really sweet episodes, man. This is so cool. Kenpachi's just so dope, bro. I love Kenpachi. I can't wait to see more of him later. Kenpachi's sweet. Ichigo's the GOAT. And I'm sorry I'm like not super excited, but I promise you, after I watched this last episode, dude, I was like hyped in my car. I was like, yes, Bleach, yes. Like the whole day when I like at work, I was just like, yes, Bleach, and now I'm just dying. So that's why I'm like low energy. Anyway, that's gonna do it for most of the video. Stick around if you want to listen to spoiler talks. I was gonna put up a big spoiler thing, but I just don't have the energy to do that. So I'm just giving you an out. So I'm doing my outro right now. First of all, go bonk on the like button for me. Second of all, subscribe and like the video. Well, you should just like the video if you're supposed to have made it this far. Like the video. And 2, subscribe if you want more Bleach content, because for sure we're going to be going over as much Bleach as we can, because it's going to get big in the next couple years. Oh, God. Jeez. Well, anyway. Watch, get ready, because Bleach is gonna get big, especially in the next couple of years for sure. The last arc I think is really gonna revitalize the franchise. But yeah, anyway, so thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Now we're at spoilers. Spoilers for the final arc of Bleach. Please do not stay here unless you've either read it or you don't care. Or you just want to know, I guess. But seriously, don't. So, biggest spoiler out of the way. We know. Now, it has been a long time since I was reading the ending of Bleach as it came out, and I have not reread the last arc since. So, keep that in mind. So I might be fuzzy on details. But Ichigo is definitely revealed to be his Zanpakuto, right? That is the case. Like, Ichigo is his Zanpakuto. And I was definitely in the group if I didn't like that. I thought that was weird and, like, out of nowhere. Especially because right before she was shown to have, like, her own Zanpakuto abilities. Which still is kind of weird, but maybe it'll explain it better when we get there. But this scene right here where he is, like, begging his Zanpakuto to speak to him, which we know later on is Nazarashi, I believe. Because, dude, it's just, I don't know where to begin. So he, like, goes through the backstory of how he found Ichigo, and he, like, killed a bunch of people, and he's holding his sword, and he's like, I'm going to give you a name. And he gave her Ichigo Unohana, because Unohana was a Kenpachi, but we don't learn that her last name is Unohana yet. It's just Ichigo right now. And she's been with him ever since. All she remembers was she seeing was blood. And then, like, she's, like, next to Kenpachi, and he's, like, begging. He's like, what's your name? And she's right there, and she's like, don't worry, Kenny. We'll be through this together. And I'm just like, that's your Zanpakuto right there, bro. You're talking to the wrong thing. Oh, dude, it was, like, explaining it, it's not as cool, but, dude, that scene is so good in context. It really, truly made me believe, like, holy shizzle. Was it really supposed to be Ichigo the whole time? Because I thought, especially a lot of the ending Bleach stuff, I thought was, like, last minute, like, yep, this is how it is now. You know, like the Quincy's or whatever. But, like, dude, this has opened my eyes. Because she's, like, been there the whole dude, it was just so awesome. This is why I'm watching Bleach again. Because there are legitimately some details here that have improved my opinion of the last arc substantially. Just this has made me, like, hyped to watch it, like, unanimated. Like, I'm so stoked now. Just to see, you know? It was sweet. I highly recommend any Bleach fan here that's made it this far, go back and just rewatch, like, that scene, like the ending of the Ichigo versus Kenpachi fight where she, like, takes him on the rooftop. Dude, because in context, it's good stuff. It really is. It's a lot. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. So, this is spoilers. You know, just talking about stuff. Because this is the first time where it really, like, hit me so bad that I really needed to talk about it. Just because I thought it was that important. If this might happen every once in a while, but probably, I can't think of anything that's, like, super hinted at later. Maybe some, like, Aizen or Kisuke stuff. But, I don't know. Either way, guys, that's going to do it for me. So, thank you all so much for watching. And I will see all of you next time. Peace.